Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Amrita Pattanaik, Assistant Professor in Manipal Institute of Virology. At the outset, I would like to thank Sci-ROI for giving me this opportunity to share my experience on writing an Indian Council of Medical Research grant proposal that was well received by the funding agency. This is just a subjective outlook on the process while I went through it, and I hope it is helpful for the novice grant applicants. Before I talk about the grant, I would like to briefly introduce myself and the organization I'm attached to. I'm a medical doctor with MD in microbiology. I am working as a clinical virologist. My job includes overseeing viral diagnostic testing and advising clinicians on management and prevention of viral infections. Clinical research is an integral part of my work. I'm usually involved in evaluating improved diagnosis, prognosis, or therapy for defined group of patients. Manipal Institute of Virology is under Manipal Academy of Higher Education. It is one of the leading virology institutions in India. It has been involved in several significant research work acclaimed across the country. So far, more than 30 outbreak investigations across India have been done, where the team has successfully identified new emerging pathogens as their root cause. MIV is recognized by national and international bodies such as WHO, Global Outbreak Alert and Response Network, and has been identified as a center of excellence by Global Virus Network. It is also the regional referral laboratory for arboviral and influenza infections. Now, a little bit about the funding agency, Indian Council of Medical Research or ICMR. It is an apex government organization with the mission to promote better health in India through research. There is a separate, dedicated ICMR web portal called the Electronic Project Management System for grant related information and activities. It not only has an announcement section for grant calls, but also proposal writing guidelines and codal document templates. The principal investigator needs to first create a profile out there, and then there is a stepwise process in which the proposal can be uploaded online for scrutiny. Here I would like to mention that there are different kinds of intramural and extramural grants available. The details are there in the website, so I shall not go deeper into that. Also, there are YouTube videos on writing ICMR grant proposals by ICMR experts, so I'll not talk about the technical details in depth, but focus upon my experience and challenges during the whole process. About the grant call I responded to, this was a call for concept proposals for COVID-19 grant. Concept proposals are condensed form of the full-length proposals. What is expected is to write in brief about the objectives, novelty, methodology, institutional support, and an approximate budget. Once approved, the principal investigator or the PI is asked to upload the full proposal. I had about 12 days to write the full proposal and upload it. Beginning or rather initiating it was the most intimidating task since this was the first proposal that I was writing. But I organized my thoughts and spoke to experienced researchers asking them for their inputs. I was fortunate enough to even have an ICMR grant proposal copy from one of the researchers to look through and understand the finer aspects. I spent a day and a half reading through the ICMR manual and guidelines thoroughly, noting down the essential requirements. Encouragement from seniors, including my institute's director, helped immensely along the way. The proposal had to be written under different headings, so I began working on one heading at a time, starting from objectives, expected outcomes, novelty, literature review, and the others. I kept the budget to work on towards the end since that required me to get in touch with different consumable providers and ask for the cost of what was required. Budget was prepared according to the ICMR guidelines in a detailed manner along with the justification. Each heading had a checklist of relevant points to make sure that nothing was left unaddressed. The draft was then reviewed by all my co-investigators, and after a couple of revisions, it was finalized. Now, moving on to the challenges when it comes to research. Among the many limiting factors that most people from my background face, the most significant one is that the medical training in our country isn't very research focused. It is very difficult to get the right guidance in most places, except the premier institutions. I was fortunate enough to be associated with one such institution early in my career and was groomed by the experts. It is very important for medical students interested in research to seek out the right kind of people and platforms which educate them on it. Medicos also complain about not having enough time to invest in research while they are busy with clinical practice. But that's when they need to look out for collaborations. These collaborations can be with basic science researchers as well as with the peers. One just needs to get out of the comfort zone and keep an open mind. The following were the grant related challenges that I faced. The first was framing the research question and the appropriate objectives. This took the maximum time. I decided to do a laboratory study on biomarkers in a novel syndrome following COVID-19 in children. I had to do a lot of groundwork and speak to the subject experts or the pediatricians. I went through the literature available to understand what was still not done and how significant was that. I had to make sure that all my co-investigators were on the same page, so I lost out on some time there as well. The next challenge was to write about the statistical analysis. Since I'm not quite well versed in statistics, I had to take external help. There definitely was a time constraint, and to avoid missing the deadline, I did proactively follow up and things were sorted out well in advance. It is prudent to not wait till the last day of submission because invariably there is an overload and the web page fails to open. Fortunately, I uploaded my proposal 2 days before the deadline. So, this is in brief about my experience in writing the first grant proposal. All the best to the new aspirants. We all learn better when we persistently put efforts. Thank you so much.